things on radio and television of all these marches, gay pride marches, and where they are, and mostly in big cities, you know, not little cities, but mostly big ones. And I feel that the more you sort of, how can I put this, outspoken about your sexuality, the better it is.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Why do you think it's better to be outspoken?
Not to bottle it up, you know. I know there are these people, I think they call them homophobics, and if they know you, then you get a lot more abuse and sort of get laughed at and make, you know, funny remarks about your sexuality. I know that. Because I see it all, you know, even when I go up London sometimes, I see what people are doing. And if I see two ladies walking down the street holding hands, I'm not to know whether they're gay or their mum or, you know, daughter.
That's true, that's true. So do you...
I wouldn't verbally abuse people that are gay, because I used to go to a gay nightclub.
Where was that?
It was called the Gateway Club, and it was in Chelsea, round that way. Can't remember the exact road. And Dad said to me, where are you going? I said, well, I'm going to the pictures, Dad. I won't be long, but I met, not my friend Dillis, but another lady, and we went there. And I remember seeing a film called The Killing of Sister George, Beryl Reid and Susanna York. And then that's, I thought, I've been to that place. You know, it just sort of, you know.
That struck a chord.
Yeah.
So when did you used to go to that club? How many years ago was that?
Oh, well, I would say when in the, got to be the late 60s, 70s, yeah.
Okay. So you didn't tell your dad where you were going?
No, but
Yeah.
I was naughty.
Tell me. Do you want to tell me?
Yes. We didn't get back till we had just missed the last train, so we had to catch what known as the postal train to get home.
So how old would you have been then, Linda?
Oh, well, as I say, I'm nearly 70 now, so imagine how old I would have been, you know. And the lady I was with, not my friend Dillis, another lady, we both worked at Littlewoods in Bromley. And that's how I met Dillis.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did your dad ever know about your relationships with women? Did you ever
Well,
tell him, or was that a hard thing to do?
it was a hard thing to say to Dad, being the only girl, and didn't want all that interested in men at the time, you know. Not I didn't like men, I mean Dad was a man, so
Yeah.
it's just that I'm one of these people, I wouldn't want everyone to know in my street.
No, I do understand that. So at Advocacy for All, when did you first started telling people that you kind of had relationships with women, or, you know?
I did mention it, Advocacy for All mentioned it at the big group members meeting. Then we did these role plays, and that's how it all came out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the response when you told people? How did people react?
Some were, well, I wouldn't say shocked, but, you know, they guessed, because personally, I'm not very feminine, I'm more butch type.
Oh, right, okay. So they kind of, so they've been thinking about it and thought,
Yeah, and very rarely you'll see me in right dresses and skirts. Or I'm in blouses, I don't mind, but I'm more like tomboyish.
Yeah. And how do you think Advocacy for All has supported you around being kind of, do you call yourself lesbian, or do you say I'm bisexual? Have you got a label you like to put
No,
on yourself, or do you?
I'm lesbian.
Lesbian, yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
how, yeah.
I'm not transparent. I used to go to meetings up London, and it was called DIAC, and most of their members were gay.
Okay.
And they wanted me to tell me sort of, how did you come? And I said, well, friend, and getting to know people.
Okay. So was that for people that had disabilities or didn't have disabilities as well?
The lady was in a wheelchair, and I don't know if she's still alive today or not, but I've got her address. And that's how we come to go out and about to different meetings and gay pride and
Okay. So how long ago was that when you were involved in?
That was a very, very long time, because I was getting on and the lady wasn't that young anyway.
Okay.
I can't mention her name.
Okay. So,
And I did actually say to one of the advocates or supporter I had that I do miss her a lot, and that was Jackie.
Yeah. So you felt you can share with the supporters.
Yeah, if it's another lady, like, I can talk to Tina, and I could talk to you, and even I did chat to Rebecca when she was on the scene.
Okay. So do you want to say a little bit about, do you still describe her as your partner, or do you describe the person that's very important to you as your friend now?
No, partner, friend. Okay. She can't write to me, she's got trouble, so I write to her a lot, or I phone her up, but it costs a lot of money to phone Wales.
Okay. So,
except for Sunday.
Okay, so you sometimes give her a call on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So you said that she lives in an older people's place now?
It's a care home. Well, her mum was Welsh and they moved to Wales to get, her mother had a lot of sisters, and I think she was missing the Welsh environment, which is actually more quieter than the London, it's...
And what about the staff there? Do the staff know how important you are to her?
Well, when I send these letters, as I say, she can't write, but I think one of them must read them to her, because I don't want to mention this supporter. She's the young one that just started.
Yeah.
She wrote a lovely card to Dillis because I had hurt my hand and I couldn't write.
Okay. So that's support you're getting from Advocacy for All to kind of help you to keep in touch.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I wanted to ask you, is there anything that we could do better, Advocacy for All, to support our members around their sexuality, do you think? Is there anything that we haven't done that we should be thinking about or doing more of?
Probably, if there's other members that are gay, whether male or female, to have meetings with them, express their lives and their stories of how they met with their partner and,
Okay, well, I've been recently kind of finding out about different organisations, and there's a meet-up group that meets up in London called Rainbow People, and they've invited us to go to any of their meetings in the future. Would you be interested if I supported some people from the organisation to go? Would you like to go and meet up?
Yeah.
They
Get
said
to know them.
Yeah, they said they're a social group mostly.
They
like to kind of go, out to, kind of a pub or kind of have a meal together or go for walks or whatever. So would you be interested in kind of popping along?
I'd come along and meet other people and have a chat. And if they want to talk about their lives, they can. If they don't, they don't, you know.
Well, one of the things that we're trying to do better at Advocacy for All is make things much more equal for people and have a much
Yes.
more of a mix of people. So you were saying it'd be good to have kind of a group so people could talk about kind of their relationships. How would we go about, do you think, asking our members about their sexuality? How do you think we should tackle it? What could we do?
As I say, you could tackle it better by sort of going to these places like gay clubs or, you know. I mean, it was a lot easier in the old days. I don't know what it's like now because I haven't been for a long time.
What, so do you think that one of the things we could do is give lots of information to all of our members about
Yes.
different places to go
And
to
have
meet or...
leaflets or flyers, whatever you want to call them, because I picked some up the other day about mental health.
Right, okay.
And I thought I must take that into the office, you know. And I think, you know, when I went to one of these meetings up London, they had a lesbian transsexual. So I went up to the person who was transsexual, I can't remember, but wanted to know why she wanted to change from a woman to a man.
Okay.
And I thought, well, it's your life, you know, you do what you want, you know.
And it's interesting you saying that because they say, don't they, information is power. The more we know about ourselves and other people, the more information we're given, the more we can kind of, you know, work together and be stronger kind of groups.
Yes, and also, if we go on like day outings, not with just the gay people, no, because I've noticed that you get to, how can I put this, know people better. I mean, I know all about the members downstairs, that's easy.
So in terms of like leisure, spending a chunk of time kind of going out for the day and being with people and...
Yeah, having a meal.
Yeah.
Not necessarily going to pictures or anything, you know.
Well, I'm just wondering, in terms of we want to kind of move forward... Or
even actually go on some more of these gay pride places, because it's always in bigger cities.
Yeah.
It's never local.
They do now much more kind of have local kind of prides, you know, in different kind of small towns.
Yeah.
So we should kind of look about what's around near where you live, you know, for next year and see who wants to go on. Would that be nice? Would you like to go next year?
Yes.
Pride March?
Yeah.
Should we make it a deal?
Yes.
Sort that out.
And also get people to understand. I mean, I'm putting this down, you see two men holding hands or kissing and cuddling. They could be father and son or, you know, they could be anything, but how are they not to know? They could be gay people.
Of course, yeah. You've said something else I think that you and I could do in terms of in our office. If we kind of get a bit of a space, like a notice board, and you were saying, because you're really good at kind of putting things on the notice board, aren't you?
If I can,
really organised. So we should perhaps get a notice board and we put lots of kind of meetings or information or, you know, for people to see.
State that actually put, and they do now put L and G and transsexual. I think there's one other one.
Bisexual.
That's it, bisexual. You know, if that went up and had pictures and stories.
Okay. So I think that sounds like a bit of a plan for us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So have you got one final thing you want to say in terms of, you know, your story?
Well, what's upset me the most at the moment is not seeing her, you know, my friend in Wales, because of the COVID. And, you know, I do phone her and write to her, but as I say, she can't write back.
Well, we've talked about helping you to get to Wales and plan it and everything, so with COVID starting to kind of ease, perhaps that's something to start thinking about again, isn't it?
And also
and getting you to see her.
There is a person that would take my dog in, so I have to think about the dog as well. You know.
So
I can't just
space,
take the dog off with
So watch this space. I think this is to a year of you kind of tapping in much more to your kind of who you are and sharing it with people and catching up with people that you're really, really close to.
Yeah, because in the group now, I notice some have got their own particular friends, clickety-click all together, and I seem to be pushed aside a bit. And I know there's this all-stars thing, but they're going to have this back soon.
But I think what you're describing, when you're in a minority and there are lots of other people in the organisation that identify as lesbian, and you're one of the few people in the organisation, it's about finding a space for you to kind of to celebrate that side of who you are, and not just around disability, isn't it? So I think that's what we're going to do.
I have said to Mum and badly, that's nothing. It's just that I went to a special school, and I communicated with like David Barnett, because he went to the same place, so I got to know him. Because when he saw me, he said, "I know you, you're Linda Young." Well, I was at that time, but then I got married. And married life didn't seem right for me. I regretted that.
Yeah. See, what's so interesting about you sharing this story is that your life, somebody sees somebody, they don't know just by looking at somebody, as you just really pointed out, the history and the fact that you've had so many things happen to you, you've had so many different parts of your life, haven't you?
Most of it was good.
Yeah.
Most of it was bad. Okay. I won't mention the bad bit.
No. Well, Linda, it's been really lovely talking to you, and I think that lots of people listening to this, seeing you kind of talk about it, hopefully it will inspire people to kind of, if they've got part of their life that they don't share with people. Absolutely. If we've got people that we work with or out there that are holding back, what would you say to people that haven't shared important things about themselves yet? What would you say?
Stick up for your rights, talk about your life, get to know people better, gay people and the rest. It's just, at school it was different, because I always wanted to sort of have, if it was cooking class, I went there. I didn't go to some, it was horrible, because it was a lady teacher.
Okay.
You see,
you've always really wanted to kind of spend time with other women, haven't you?
Yeah. I still do. I get on fantastic with the other supporters. Even the new one I get on with.
Thank you very much for that, Linda. And I think people are going to really enjoy kind of listening to you. Okay.
And thank you very much as well.